How's it going out there, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Just shot a video on the GX4, the Taurus Gx4, and I told you guys that I was going to go ahead and do a little stippling video on it. So this is what we're going to do. What we got here is the Taurus Gx4, and I want to do some stippling, whatever you want to call it, stippleponymous. I'm going to do that to the gun. So basically, see how it's all stippled down here? I see this ridge right here. I'm thinking I might stipple in here, and then it kind of comes from back here forward all the way up here to connect to this one. And I'm going to stipple all in that on both sides. So we're going to attempt to do this. What I do is I got this Harbor Freight. It's a wood burner kit. Use this tip right here. You got to sit it and let it preheat, and make sure your Satan cat doesn't pull it off the table and burn the carpet with it, because my cat already come over and starts messing with the cables, and this thing's already slid down, and luckily I grabbed it and picked it up before it burned the carpet. So if you have stupid cats or dogs, make sure you watch that. So anyway, we're going to get to this. This is just going to be a little do it yourself, how to stipple the Taurus Gx4. All right, guys, let's get to this. So we got the Gx4 here. Normally what I do, you want to make sure you check and make sure there's nothing in the chamber. Gun is clear. Normally what I'll do is I'll take off the whole slide, but seeing as that this gun is so small, I kind of need something to grip on. And if I took the slide off, there would be nothing to grip on. But when I do my bigger pistols, I'll take the slide off, so this makes it real light and easy to maneuver. But in this case, I'm going to just go ahead and leave it on. So what we're going to do here is, as I showed you before, you see the lines that run here and here, and they're going to run here and here all the way back. So I'm going to come basically from here forward all the way up to here, and then I'm going to go from here where these lines are down around this, pretty much right where the trigger is, and we're going to stipple that. Then I got this extended mag right here, and when you put it in the pistol, there's a little bit sticking out here, so I might do a little stippling on the edge right there, if you can see that. I hope you can see this, because I got my camera on my head and I'm just kind of winging it. So let's go ahead and get started. What I got is been letting my wood burner get warm, and as soon as it's nice and hot, which it should be good now, I might try it out on this mag first. So I like these nice short stubby ones, because if you get the longer ones you can't really see. Oh, you got this long old ball. This at least lets you brace your hand against your other hand when you're doing it. So you'll just pretty much just basically tap it. Make sure you're hitting the very point. Don't lean it too far to the edge, because if you lean it to the edge, you're going to have a flat spot. Now this thing puts off quite a bit of fumes, so usually what I'll do is I'll throw an N95, or everybody's got masks for COVID laying around now, so you can slap one of those things on. If it's going to protect you from COVID, which it won't, then maybe it'll protect you from harmless fumes of burning plastic. So what you want to do is hit the light on it, because when you hit it just right, when you move it around with the light, you'll see bare spots where you missed. And from a certain angle, it'll look good, but then you'll tilt it and you'll be like, oh, there's a flat spot there. So make sure you tilt it and hit everything. So there's the bottom part of that. I'm going to do this part up here. What I'm going to do first, though, is been a while since I've done one of these, and my near sight vision has gone to crap. So I'm going to go grab my glasses so I can put those on so I can see. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, glasses on. Wow, what a difference. I could actually see now. Now we can cover some ground. So you'll probably be basically speckling all over the place on this. Just really light taps. Be nice if they made some sort of machine, like a tattoo gun, that you could load one of these onto, and it would just go brrr, because it pretty much basically works the same as a tattoo gun. I was once a tattoo artist. So maybe I'll invent one and make millions of dollars. If not, I just gave my idea out to everybody. You guys run with it and let me know when it comes out so I can get one. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do on that one. See how fast that was? That basically took me a minute or two. And like I said, if you tilt it different ways, I don't know if you can see that, but there's bare spots up in here that I missed. So make sure you do your tilting with the light on it. Now the stippling on here, if you guys are wondering, it's not, it's basically like sandpaper. I mean, it's not grippy, but it's pretty grippy. It feels basically like sandpaper, but it's a nice coarse finish, so check that out. Now, when you put that on, there it is. Still empty. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get to the gun itself. Now, if you'll look, if you can see with this camera, these guys left kind of an edge beyond the edge right there. And then they left a little circle around here. So what I'm gonna do is try to mimic the same thing. If anything, if I screw up anywhere along the way and I get too tight to this edge, I can come back here and just stipple to the edge on here so everything matches. So we're gonna go ahead and try it out. Hopefully I don't jack up my gun, because this is my favorite gun. Let's try it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it for a little while, show you guys how to do it, and then I'll slap into fast forward so you don't have to see here every single little freaking dotted stroke. So we'll start here. Try not to push too hard. You're kind of getting the rhythm of it as you go, and know what depth to go. And you can kind of go back on your strokes again, like the more you hit it, the more texture you're going to have. So it depends on how textured you want it. I want to kind of match what's on here, so I'm kind of bouncing around. See how the texture is pretty close? Problem is I got to get this nice and straight, this line here. I'm going to flip the gun this way so that we can get closer on this side. So if you guys are going to do this like I'm doing it right now and you leave this slide on, make sure you check and clear that weapon over and over again, because I'd hate to see somebody get shot doing something like this. The warning's got to be out there because there are idiots out there that do that. So, just like that. Yep, I like that too. My phone's going off. Just to show you how quick you can kind of do this once you get into doing it. I could usually, I'm not quick by no means. I mean, there's no real way of doing this quick because it's a tedious process. So if you keep a nice little tilt with the light, you can see where the shiny is and the dull is. If you need to straighten out your line, do it nice and slow, but just tap it, don't leave it. See how that's looking? Looks almost exactly like the texture we have here, but it feels better, in my opinion. There it is. And I'll just start from this line here. You have a line. Normally what I'll do is if I don't have lines or I need, you know, to get my eyes closer to be able to focus on something, I'll take a mechanical lead pencil and you just mark out your lines, just draw them in, and then you can go up to that line and they'll wipe off. So I want to go to about here. Hope I'm not boring you guys with this. It's kind of trying to give you an idea. Tilt it in different ways so you can make sure you got everything done. If you see any little shiny spots when you do your tilting, then hit it with your iron. Like so. Okay, there's that first part. Looking back on here, it's almost going to be cooler if I take this and drag it, I think, to the edges so that it kind of matches up with that line. I don't really like that gap there. So what I'm going to do is backfill. Fill that up to the line there. A lot of you guys are nervous, I'm sure, to be able to attempt this because one little slip up and your gun looks like complete crap. I was nervous too when I started, and I still get nervous when I start because, well, guns aren't cheap. This one's kind of cheap, but it's one of my favorites just because something about these Tauruses, they're really built really good. Great everyday carry. You get a chance, check out my videos on this. I do have videos on the Gx4 and I believe my G2C, if I remember right. I put another one of those up. Now this is where the actual manufacturer stippled, so I'm going to go ahead and hit this dotted line here And as you see, there's really no difference between my stippling and theirs. Besides, theirs was probably 100 times easier because it was just clamped down the machine and they just went with it. Now there's different kinds of stippling you can do. Stippling, stipling. I don't know, let me know in the comments how you say stippling or stipling or stipplopotamus. I say stippling. And there it is, guys. See how it matches up? Almost looks like it was supposed to be there. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is this little area right here, I'm going to bring it down to probably in here. And then all the way up across again. So I'm going to start down in this area. I don't want to get too close to that trigger, so I think I'll just hit this line here. When you get too close to that trigger, there might be a resistance, or I mean the trigger looks like it's made out of poly as well, so you don't want to melt it. Probably could stipple the trigger if you wanted to, though. I'm not going to. Okay, guys, I think this is at one point of the video. I might fast forward y'all, so you don't have to see each and every one of these strokes in real time. You can see it 100 times faster. You kind of get the idea. Okay, guys, done with this side. Just see, like I said, when you move it, you'll see the little marks here and there, but anyway, this is a look I'm going for right here. So now I have more texture here and a lot more texture here, and it feels pretty good. So, and it pretty much matches up with this. Now what you could do as well is you could go through and Dremel and sand all this stuff down so you could do your own complete stipple job on it. But I like the way the stippling looks on here. I just wanted to add to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other side done just like this side, and we'll see what the end result looks like. All right, guys, so that's what we got so far. Looks good. I'm pretty happy with it. Now what you'll want to do is just kind of hold the pistol and see where your marks off. Actually, after feeling it, I didn't want to stipple into this flashlight here, but I think I'm going to do this little mark right here. So then when you're laying your finger there, you will be able to tell the difference between button and the flatness right here. So why the hell not? Ow. Just want to keep away from that button there. Now what's cool about stippling is if you mess up and you look back and you see too much puddles in one spot, or you can see the circular parts, you could just keep tapping on it or around it, and it'll drag that poly or plastic, or I guess it would be poly, around and rechange your design. Now this process really didn't take me very long. I've been maybe 20-30 minutes on this thing, so I will tell you those bigger guns will take me an upwards of 3 hours though of doing this. Tap, 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 taparoo, taparoo. So make sure when your hand and wrist and fingers get sore, and they will, like right up in here, this is all sore, wrist is sore from holding it, make sure you're supporting yourself. I learned that through tattooing. Basically, if you stabilize the hand, you can move it faster and more accurate. So take breaks. If it starts to hurt, make sure you take breaks, because if not, you're going to just get sloppy. Take a break, chill for a little while, and then get back to it. Usually what I'll do, I didn't have to take a break on this one because this one's actually a pretty fast one. And you'll notice the difference between the materials. Like say SIGs, this Taurus, they're a different material than like my Glock. My Glock you have to kind of press, and that one's tedious because you're having to press each and every one of these little. You can't just tap. You kind of gotta press and hold, press and hold, press and hold on each one. So you'll be able to tell the difference on some guns. When you first start though, just tap it, and you'll be able to tell how much pressure you're gonna have to apply to each gun. So quick couple minutes and that was done, guys. Make sure you tilt it a little bit, turn it in different directions so you can see if there's any high spots that you missed. They'll be there. And that light really will show you what you missed. Okay. That's it. Now when I reach down here, it feels pretty good. I can actually feel where that button is, and it has a little grip. So if you're holding it, it'll be a little bit more grip than what that slippery surface was. So anyway, I'll stop and show you what it looks like. All right, guys, that's the video. Sorry if I have a mark on my head. I don't know if it's there or not, but I had this GoPro on the headrest on my head, and it's hot. So anyway, straightforward, pretty easy. Showed you guys how to do it. Don't be afraid to try it. I mean, it's that kit over there from Harbor Freight. I think it's maybe probably 10-15 bucks at Harbor Freight. Comes with all the little different tips if you want to try different stuff. I usually just use the sharpest one and the shortest one. So that's that. If you like the video, you like the content, hit that like button for me. If you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. It helps me out. It helps me build this channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 so that we can start moving on with this channel. But anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in for at least this. Leave some comments. If you got any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them for you. So we'll see you on the next one.